Hey everybody, it's Cosmic, here for another interview at PAX West with Bravery Network Online, and I'm here joined by...
My name is Damian Summer. I am the game designer and writer for Bravery Network.
So how's PAX going so far, brother?
Very tiring, honestly. It's a lot. Dealing with, you have like hundreds of interactions a day, and like usually making games, you're like, I interact with my team of like 3 other people, so it's like, this is a lot right now.
All right, so I talked to you yesterday. We played the game. I gushed to you about this game because it's literally my most anticipated game of this convention. I'm being genuine here. So, Bravery Network Online. One thing I want to talk about immediately is this game used to be called Bravery Network, according to you, and it added an online component, and you guys just said, hey, let's just add online to the thing. Yeah. What's the multiplayer aspect going to be like?
So it's actually really interesting because it's always been online. Going back for a sec, it's always actually online first and foremost. We added the online to the title because people didn't realize that. Oh. It's purely a marketing thing. But I don't know, I kind of like saying BNO like as the short form.
Really good.
But anyway, going back. So, sorry, what was the actual question?
What's the multiplayer aspect going to be like?
Oh, the multiplayer aspect. So that is that's where we're going, like the most experimental. We're trying out a bunch of stuff. I don't want to commit to anything super heavy yet. So right now, what it will be like is you'll have like there'll be a team building component where you customize your teams, and choose who you want on your team, like all the different characters from the roster, and what those characters have equipped. And then on top of that, you'll be then challenging people online. One thing we really want to get in is like a friends and rivals system. So if there's somebody that you fought online that you really enjoyed fighting, you can mark them as your rival, and then the matchmaking system will prioritize like matching you up with your rivals. And if you play against your rivals like over and over and over, like on different days and stuff, that like it slowly like levels up your rivalry, and like you get a bunch of bonuses and stuff for doing so.
I don't think I've heard of a system like that with the rivals. I mean, it's really dope.
It's based on this is behind the curtain a bit, but it's based on some research done about how to manipulate people into becoming friends. And when you tell people that, it's actually not like people. This is also part of the research. When you tell people that, they reject it immediately and go, "No, I will never be friends with this person." So I'm reluctant to say it too much, but like I'll say it now because fuck it. Am I allowed to swear?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. It's based on that kind of research. I don't really want to go too into it, but yeah, it's a thing we've been thinking about a lot, and we really want to foster like a good online community that's healthy. And so we're taking a lot of pains to do that, and we know it's really hard. So we'll probably mess it up in some way that we would have never seen, but we're definitely trying our best to make sure like we have a good like positive space, you know? Especially in a competitive game where people are pretty willing to just throw shade at each other. Let's call it shade.
So are you going for both casual and competitive?
Yeah, absolutely. That's part of why we have a story mode in here too, because we understand that the art style and stuff is very approachable. And so when people pick up the game, and when they first picked up the game when it was only multiplayer online, which is like when we're testing it with friends and stuff, they get shocked at like how robust it is and like how deep it can go. And so we don't want people who don't want to go that deep to get the game and then be like, oh, there's not really much here for me. So we have like a healthy like single player that explores kind of the like why the characters are doing what they're doing, right? It has like. And it explores like we have like 25 characters, and like all of them have like weird quirky personalities. So they're all like thousands of years in the future. So I tried to really make culture just a little weird, you know, because why would it be the same? So exploring that I hope is like beneficial for people who are less into the multiplayer part of it, you know.
All right, so I totally skipped over. What is Bravery Network Online? We just jumped into this. We didn't explain what it is.
Yeah, because we both already talked about this a lot. So Bravery Network Online is a turn-based battle RPG in the style of Pokemon. you have a team of fighters and you're trying to knock out the opposing team. The thing is, this takes place far in the future, and how that has shaken out is there are people who are everyone is immortal. It's like post-scarcity, post-mortality type thing. They're functionally immortal. There's some limitations to it, but let's not get into that. That's spoilers. So one thing that they decided to do with this newfound immortality was like, hey, we have this, let's play this game that we made up called Bravery, which is like a team-based like game of like trying to get each other to give up in any way necessary. Now, how you can do that is like you can either use physical attacks, digital attacks, or emotional attacks. And like the emotional attacks are like really weird. Like one of them's like, I admire you. And like you're just like make big anime eyes at them, and they take like that's the strongest one, and they take a ton of damage, because like why would you fight somebody who's like being really nice to you, right? But the thing is like it's used as a weapon, so it's like there's a lot of like backstabbing and kind of stuff like that. That's the gist, and then like the story mode goes into like more of that stuff, while the multiplayer online goes into like really like crunchy like a lot of interacting mechanics and stuff. It's like a web of mechanics that you have to navigate in a fun way. At least I find it fun. Yeah.
So you said 25 characters?
Yes, 25.
All right. What's your favorite character? Tell me about a character you're excited for people to see.
Oh.
Without, I guess, spoiling too much, I suppose.
There's a character named Lise who you've not seen. Is not in any of these builds. One of the stories revolves around her. She's kind of a weird hermit who doesn't like interacting with other people, and her story really breaks her out of her shell in a way that I'm excited for people to see. I actually love her. Like her attack animation is just her putting up her hand, just being like, "Oh, hold on, I have something else to do." Like that's her attack animation, and it's just like, and she's got like these wicked high like emotional damaging stats where she's just like, and like she has that move Admire, and she's just like flicks up her hand, she's like, "I don't care," and then like big anime eyes come out, and then the other character just goes poof and like takes a ton of damage. I don't know. There's something about her that I really enjoy. I don't know. I love all the characters though. Like mechanically, like all of them are really interesting. I don't know. I don't want to gush for too long about all of these.
I love it.
Yeah. Well, so because this game is based on Pokemon, some of these characters are based on how other Pokemon work. So there's a Pokemon I love named Octillery, which is from like 3rd gen. It's not a good Pokemon, but it has this ridiculous move pool, and it's wasted on these shitty stats. And so I made a character named Nora, who is basically Octillery if Octillery were good, and in a different game. Yeah, so like I love her. She's like this floating like lady who has mushrooms all over her and stuff. I don't know.
So you're preaching to the choir. I'm a Gen 3 man.
Yeah. So am I. Like I've got like as a kid I had like 400 hours on my Sapphire cartridge. Like, yeah, I get it.
Yeah. Last question for you. Hopefully I have a visual for who this. We've talked about Jeffrey.
Yeah.
Are we going to get Jeffrey on our team?
I can't say.
Oh, look, I hope I have the visual because I love Jeffrey. I can't wait. I can't wait to play this game. Thank you for allowing me to ask you questions.
Yeah, no problem. Thanks for interviewing.
And we're back, second part of this interview with Taylor. Taylor, she is the art director for Bravery Network Online. Anything else? I hope I got all of it.
Well, so Damian and I both co-own the studio that makes Bravery Network, and I do a lot of direction in general. I both direct like kind of the programming side and the tech side of things, and I also direct like the art side of things in the world. So a lot of like production directing like where the world's going, trying to build it into like a space and like giving it specific vibes and like helping just like build it all. And then I also do a bunch of like programming of my own and like working and like just lots of stuff. There's so many things to do in an indie studio.
Yeah. All right, so the main draw when I saw this game, I was researching on PAX, all the indie games, big indie game lover. I saw this game, saw the trailer. I didn't even want to watch half the trailer because I was just going to jump in. I loved it first sight. I'm very Scott Pilgrim-y. I don't I don't. I'm not the biggest on art terms, but the thick outlines of the characters, I love the design. So, since I was told you're responsible for the general
vibe.
Yeah. Where did it come from?
Yeah. So, I mean, it has a bit of a longer history. We've been working on the game for a little while now. It comes from a lot of different places. When we first started making this game, originally there were 4 of us working at the studio. And we kind of built this weird world together. It has like a weird deep lore. It like takes place in the future. They like are all immortal and they like hang around like fighting each other, getting up to all kinds of like shenanigans and stuff. And we had a person on our team who was the lead artist before, and her name's Kelly Kwong, and she was just an incredible like character designer, and she helped set some of the tone for a lot of the characters and like with their designs and stuff like that. And then as things have come along, we've unfortunately they're not working on the project anymore, but we have a couple new artists who've really come in when we've gotten into like kind of full production of the game. We're working with a comic artist named Gloam, who really is responsible for like the thick, like kind of like semi-detailed, like you're saying, like Scott Pilgrimage vibe, which we get here and there. Like there's a few little games that really are like, hey, it's kind of like this, and I'm gonna take that as a compliment because I think those things are very beautiful. And honestly, I like try and like move the world in a direction, try and help things out, but like it honestly, it's all the artists and like their talent that really brings the vibe together and really brings the like world together. Guillaume making the characters, Killian Ng doing the like just amazing, absolutely stunning backgrounds, and John Sandoval working on like visual effects. There's just like so many people really like that really brings together, especially like the art style of the game and like what you see. That's really where it's coming from. It's a collaboration between a lot of different people and a cool, weird world that we came up with a while back.
Yeah, I admire it so much. I played this game yesterday so I could know more about it, and I was just gushing to Damian over here, and I'm so ready. How long has it been in development for?
So we've been working on the game kind of full-time and full production with a budget for a little over a year, since May of last year. And pre-production and kind of like what we've been making before that and some of the design stuff we come up with the game has been about 3 or 4 years before that. So it's been maybe 4, maybe 5, which I don't really want to say, but something like that. So we've been working on it for a little while now, and I think it's really started to it's really come together.
So the playable demo we have here, is this going to be on itch.io or anything like that for the public, or is this just...
Unfortunately, the demo isn't available for people to play outside of the conference right now. We're hoping to... I can't make any promises. Yeah. I'm a developer. I can't make any promises about anything. But we're hoping to do some kind of like beta or play for people to be able to play on their own or like with each other online and stuff in the coming future, before launch hopefully, and not after launch, because then you can just play the game. But something like that coming later in the year or early next year kind of thing.
Dope. All right, so let's gush some more. All right, everyone.
Thank you.
What's something I haven't said, because there's something I always miss and forget. What's something I haven't talked about in any aspect that you would love to just say, hey, look at this shit. This is why I love my game, our game. Like, what's something out there?
Oh God, you're putting me on the spot. So one thing that I really try to like push through with the game that I love about it, and it's a lot of moving parts. It's like characters and world and all that kind of stuff. But like a really big thing for me about it is that it's all these like different kind of like fun, like weirdo characters who just like have all kinds of like different personalities and how they look and how they feel, and like they're all just like hanging out in this space, like kind of having these like scrappy relationships and just like getting up to like weird things and like exploring what it means to like both be like a person and also be like immortal, which is what they are in the game, and like also exploring like just a bunch of different things, and being able to like bring, or like when I'm making the game, it kind of gets to like hang out in this like vibe and in this world and with these characters, and like I like that space so much, and I really like when people get to like hang around and just like whatever, experience the like colorful weirdness and like the just like all of it. It makes me very happy.
Makes me happy too. I'm spacing on questions here.
Yeah, no sweat.
So, but final things on this. When are you guys hoping? Like next year? Is that what you're aiming for?
So we're aiming for early next year. So sometime maybe like end of winter kind of thing. Like, hopefully, I don't know. That's all I got. Again, developer, can't make promises, but that's what we're aiming for right now.
Will it be on just Steam for?
Yep. So we're doing Steam, PC, Mac as well. So like all that, potentially itch as well for do the DRM free stuff, and. Depending on how all that goes and whatever the future holds, hopefully be able to move on to like other consoles and stuff like that.
Thank you for joining me.